At exactly 7:13 a.m., Daniel Carter stared at his reflection in the bathroom mirror and whispered a lie that would change his life forever. "I'm bankrupt today." By nightfall, that sentence would strip him of every illusion he had about love, and replace it with a truth he never saw coming. Stay till the end, because what his wife said next didn't just test their marriage. It rewrote the meaning of loyalty. Daniel Carter was a self-made millionaire. At 38, he had everything men were told to chase: luxury cars, a glass-walled penthouse, private investments, and a name that opened doors without knocking. But behind the success lived a quiet fear he never admitted out loud. Did his wife love him, or the life he provided? Emily had been by his side for 9 years. She wasn't flashy. She didn't post designer bags online or chase attention. She laughed softly, cooked simple meals, and always waited for him to come home, even when he was late. And that scared him. Because Daniel had seen what money did to people. He had watched partners disappear when fortunes collapsed. He had heard stories of love evaporating overnight. And on that particular morning, with no warning and no plan beyond curiosity, he decided to test the one thing he thought was unbreakable. At breakfast, he didn't ease into it. He didn't soften the blow. He sat across from Emily, pushed his coffee aside, and said quietly, "I lost everything." She looked up, confused. The company. The accounts. All of it, he continued. Bad investments. Lawsuits. By tonight, I'll officially be bankrupt. The silence that followed felt louder than shouting. Emily didn't scream. She didn't cry. She didn't ask how much was left. She simply reached across the table and took his hand. "Are you okay?" she asked. That wasn't the reaction Daniel expected. He waited for panic. For anger. For disappointment. Instead, she stood up, grabbed a notebook from the kitchen drawer, and sat back down. "Okay," she said calmly. "First things first. We cancel the vacation. Sell the second car. I can pick up extra shifts at the clinic. We'll downsize." He blinked. "You're not upset?" She looked at him, really looked at him. "Daniel, I married a man, not a balance sheet." Something twisted in his chest. But the real test hadn't even begun. Later that day, Daniel pretended to take phone calls. He paced. He sighed. He acted defeated. And from the hallway, unseen, he heard Emily talking on the phone with her sister. "I don't care if we move into a one-bedroom," Emily said softly. "As long as he doesn't blame himself. He's still the man I love." Daniel leaned against the wall, his throat tightening. Then she said something that shattered him. "He carried us when I had nothing. Now it's my turn." And Daniel realized this lie was no longer harmless. Because he wasn't just testing her love. He was risking it. That evening, Daniel came home to find the penthouse quiet. The lights were dim. The expensive furniture felt colder than usual. Emily sat at the dining table with 2 plates of simple food: rice, vegetables, chicken. No wine. No candles. "I sold my jewelry today," she said casually. "Just in case." He froze. "You, what?" "My engagement ring too," she added, not meeting his eyes. "It's just a ring. You're more important." Daniel's heart dropped. That was the moment the test crossed a line he could never uncross. He broke. "Emily, stop," he said, his voice shaking. "I lied." She looked up slowly. "I'm not bankrupt," he continued. "I made it up. I wanted to see if you'd stay." The room went completely still. Emily stood up. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She walked past him and went into the bedroom. For the first time in his life, Daniel felt truly poor. Minutes later, she returned, holding the ring receipt. "You tested me," she said quietly. "But you didn't trust me." Tears burned his eyes. "I'm sorry. I was afraid." She took a deep breath. Love isn't proven by money. It's proven when there's nothing left. She placed the receipt on the table. "I would have stayed," she said. But next time, don't ask life to hurt me just to reassure you." Daniel fell to his knees. That night, he made a vow, not to her, but to himself. Never again would fear be louder than trust. Months later, he transferred half his wealth into a foundation in Emily's name, funding education for families who had lost everything. Not to prove his love, but to honor it. Because the greatest fortune he almost lost was the woman who stayed when she believed there was nothing left.